Hello and welcome everyone to Town Hall number 16. It is great to see everyone here. It is a nice crisp evening or night in Bangalore, where we are headquartered. So a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Just a quick heads up for everyone who's joining in. A little brief about what this call is about and what we're going to be talking about. So this call is generally around an hour. We have some exciting updates that we'd like to get into. Now, we will be recording this call. So after the call goes live, after the call ends, probably within the next 24 hours, you will have the recording and you can go through it if you're not able to catch this call over here. There is a chat box on the right. You can see the hand icon on the top right. Click on that. Please ask your questions at the end of the call. We will be going through everyone's questions and make sure to cover as much as we can. We have an exciting town hall today. It's been 16 town halls in and many more to come with some exciting news. So yeah, let's get into it. We have Karam, we have Shoops, we have Ankur, and we have Atlas over here. So let's get into it. So before we get into some of the main announcements that we want to talk about, we want to cover a couple of small announcements or big announcements as well, which is really important and exciting for the ecosystem. Starting with new partnerships, you guys might have seen some of these announcements over the last couple of weeks, some of the things that we're super excited about. The first partnership is with Pinlink. You guys might have seen this. So through Pinlink, we'll be able to have fractionalized ownership of hotspots. That will go live post TGE. They're also working on an RWA DEX, which will basically allow you to trade fractionalized shares of your hotspots with other projects as well. This is super exciting. This opens the door for a lot more people to participate in the project. It makes participation a lot easier for a lot more people. And this is going to be very, very exciting, especially as we head to TGE. Rumor just put up one of the images to the post that went out, I think, yesterday or today. A fun little image of a Lego Dabba broken into pieces thanks to Pinlink. So yes, Pinlink is going to be super fun, especially for the project. Keep your eyes open for that. We'll have more updates and more news on that, especially as we approach TGE. The next big partnership, which you'll see more about in the coming weeks, is with Wingbits. And this is to double down on our layer zero concept, which is not a concept anymore, especially since we have the WeatherXM deployments. Now we'll have Wingbit deployments. So we're going to have around 10 Wingbit devices deployed across India. And we have some exciting news on how we're going to be going about that partnership, some exciting rewards for the community, etc., etc. You're going to see more and more projects come on to the Dabba network and leverage the network. So yes, in terms of partnerships, exciting partnerships in the coming weeks, you're going to see a lot more partnerships come up. I can see Shubs going ham in the memes in chat. Even he's excited with the new partnerships that are coming up. So yes, make sure to keep an eye out for what's to come.
Yeah, I think we're
Um,
really excited about both the partnerships. Me, especially for Wingbits, because Wingbits also does something insanely crucial, which is flight tracking and radar tracking. And not radar, sorry, flight tracking and boat and marine tracking. And that's incredibly important because from like a layer zero perspective, you want to be monitoring all infrastructure or integrating into all infrastructure as much as possible. And one of the core things apart from communication is transportation. And so this is a layer zero entry into that area as well. And so we're really excited. We love the Wingbits team and all of the things that they're doing. So yeah, could not be more chuffed than I am for it. Very excited.
yes,
Oh,
sorry.
one other thing that I wanted to mention. So first off, I'd like to point out for the community, Don has been started taking calls with this mysterious guitar in the background of his, and he has yet to play anything for anyone. Does Don even know how to play guitar? So I thought for today's call, I will up the ante and I urge you to look at my background, which is many hit records and classics. We've got John Mayer, we've got Daft Punk. So, Don, just so you know, that's a thing.
I'll just
Uh,
I'll just start putting gaming paraphernalia in the background. That's it. I'll get rid of the guitars and start putting gaming stuff back there.
Yeah, and like just okay, on a slightly more serious note, but like I like the theme of music. One of the things I wanted to point out before we continue, and Rumor, if you get a chance, please post the Tech Wiser link, that video in the chat. So the times they are in fact a changing. One of the most interesting things that's happening now in the Indian market is something that we've been talking about and waiting for like a decade, a change in sentiment, which we could not be more excited about. So when we first started Dabba about 8, 9-ish years ago now, thereabouts, the first 3, 4 years, right, damn near up until 2020, COVID was who needs Wi-Fi, right? You've got 3G, things are about okay, all the rich had connections and the rest of that. You talk to anybody, and the only thing that you would get is who launches a Wi-Fi and broadband company, right? That doesn't make any sense. Who needs Wi-Fi? Then COVID taught everybody the value of high-speed internet, and the telcos with 4G came over and really poured fuel on that fire, right? So from the period of like 2019, 2020 to 2023, I'd say about something like that. No, not 22, 22 was the telco will kill you. Yes, you guys were right. People need connectivity, but the telco is going to murder you. Now, the sentiment has finally changed to deepen and what we're all talking about. And this video does an insanely good job of talking about it. Please check out the link on the chat when you see where everybody's realized we all need data. It is crucial to our lives. It cannot be left to giant cartels and giant telcos. We have to do something about this. So the thing that we're really excited about is now there is slowly bubbling into mass consciousness in India that we need a third telco in this country that does high-speed connectivity for everyone. And there's a willingness to participate and change and make that happen. Because one of the things I want to highlight that's sort of a subtle sign of this happening, but a very clear one in this video, is we don't have any affiliation with this YouTube channel, by the way. Never spoken to them, barely even watch their videos. They're really popular though. They've got 3 million subscribers. They focus entirely on, hey, here's the new Samsung Galaxy versus the new iPhone, whatever. They're not activists, they're not nothing. But this is now coming up to a point where YouTubers and everyone in the tech community is really starting to voice this concern. And at the end of the video, the guy even makes a recommendation saying, if you make YouTubes, if you do stuff like all of us in India, we should really be talking about this. So what this means is a rising tide lifts all boats. What this means more than anything is even all of you personally have experienced when you talk to friends and family about deepen and that sort of thing, you sort of have to educate them and then bring them over, right? Which is something that we've been doing as well, and it's good and it works and it's great. But it's infinitely easier and better if you are tapping into the latent demand that is within somebody and confirming it and giving them the power to do something about it. So we're really excited about this. We're gonna be way more visible in India. We think there's going to be a massive uptick in the level of chatter and awareness and participation in Dabba. And yeah, I just want to say I'm really, really excited about that. So yeah, happy about partnerships, happy about this. I'm good. John, please continue. Otherwise, Shoops, if you want to jump in, go for it. That was my speech.
Shoops is taking over chat right now. But yes, like what Karam said, it's really, really great to see that sentiment, the sentiment shift in India, especially with telcos and how people are generally standing up. And just like how we pointed out, seeing like a tech YouTuber who doesn't take these kind of stances. Literally, if you watch to the end of the video, at the end of the video, he's literally like he puts out a call to action to other vloggers and other tech enthusiasts, and he's like, talk more about this. More people need to know about this. Talk to your representatives. Make sure that something is done about making sure we all have better access to internet in India. So very, very inspiring to see, and that also opens up the floodgates for us to do some exciting and fun things in India as well, which you will be seeing in the coming weeks and months too. Um, Yes, okay. So getting back to it. So partnerships, great. Sentiment is great. Things are looking great, not just in India, but in the Dabba ecosystem. We are all engines ahead. The next exciting piece of news is we are going to be at Singapore. So we will be visiting Singapore for Token 2049 and for Apex, Solana Apex. Make sure you come by and see us over the next coming weeks. We'll be sharing the different events that we'll be attending. Uh, if you guys want to, if there's many of you there, please hit us up. Let us know if you're coming down to Singapore. We would love to meet you. We would love to talk to you. We have some exciting things planned for Singapore. It's going to be a great time. So make sure to reach out if there are some events that you think we should definitely attend. Let us know. We'll make sure to be there. And yeah, it will be a great time. I think it's around end of this month to the first couple of days of October. So yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, on to the main course, what everyone has been waiting for and what we have been talking about, onboarding. The last couple of weeks has been great with onboarding being tested with the test crew. A big shout out to the test crew and the great work that they have done. We have been testing the entire process, making sure everything is working smoothly and well, and that everyone, is fine with the process, and we're ready to open up onboarding. Now, onboarding is super, super important. It's a crucial step in getting the network up and running, making sure that people are connected to their hotspots, and to make sure that everyone has a chance to earn their rewards from day one. That is very, very important. Now, I'm going to get into a recap of what to look forward to with onboarding with the GLP program with Genesis Liquidity. I'm sure many of you have heard about it before. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as well. But this is super exciting and super important, a major milestone as we're approaching TGE. So before I get into it and talk about it, Karam and Shubs, talk to us a little bit about onboarding and why this is so exciting for the network.
Tubes, I presume you joined on video. Say what's up.
You are disturbing me from my. Anyways, yeah. No.
Shit posting.
Okay, you start. I got it.
Fair enough. Yeah, so onboarding is a key step from the community side before we get to the TGE. This is important, obviously, for the network because it's great if there are hotspots out there, but people need to claim them and actually get the rewards. We need that distribution mechanism in place, and it's something that's been required from us, from exchanges and other bodies and that sort of thing, to say, yes, there are owners, there are things running, and things are working really smoothly. The second thing about onboarding is we're offering really cool perks that come along if you onboard early. The first step, the first thing that we obviously is you get to choose hotspots first before anybody else. And although we're doing universal basic income at the beginning, but it's 90% of all rewards are shared with all hotspots owners and only 10% go to performance, that'll tip over time. So it's as a reward to the people that purchased hotspots early, they get first dibs on what's cool. The second thing is, of course, the earlier if you onboard your hotspots now, and you don't have to onboard all of them, although please, we would encourage you to onboard all of them. If you do, you have the opportunity to participate or at least show interest in the Genesis liquidity pool, which is a chance for you to participate in the Dabba vault that will launch just before we go live. Like that's a reasonably priced token vault for initial traders to come in. And we've got this great partnership with Bonk where we'll be driving traffic to that vault. So the Genesis liquidity program basically not only allows the Dabba Foundation to put in tokens to initially start trading the way that most other projects do, but it also allows hotspot owners in the community to do so and create that initial level of liquidity and get rewarded really on. Of course, this is optional. As you go through the onboarding, you'll see the clear steps and a better explanation of this. But I would say that these are the two massive perks of why we believe that you should onboard as soon as possible. You do, of course, have time till TGE, but then you'll miss out on these perks. And if you do your onboarding after the TGE, you'll miss out on token rewards because you are getting your token rewards only when you finish the onboarding process. So yeah, from the road to TGE, this is a crucial step that has to be fulfilled from the community side. So we're really excited about this, and then it'll be onward and upward, head for the TGE. So could not be more excited.
To add to what Karam said, I think one point that I would like to add over here is as we are negotiating the deals with the centralized exchanges, the whole onboarding process is a crucial step toward that. So higher the number of onboarded hotspots onto the chain that we demonstrate to them at the start of this thing, we'll be able to negotiate better with them. So yeah, as a team, as a community, we should be onboarding really quick to get going. Those centralized exchanges conversations are in advanced stages as we are moving forward towards our TGE. This would be the right time for you guys to complete your KYC and get your devices onboarded. Yeah, so very crucial point.
Yeah, just to cap, I actually missed that one point. A crucial point of this is KYC has to be done. We, as a project, are dead clear that we will be compliant and we're not going to play fast and loose with anything. KYC is an incredibly important component of this, both from the end consumer side, and we do KYC on all customers that use the Dabba network. Therefore, hotspot owners are required to do it as well. So this is a crucial part of being part of the project.
Yeah, an exciting step as we head towards TGE, right? I think we've been on this road to TGE now with a lot of exciting things coming into play. This major step of having onboarding starting with everyone being able to onboard their device and show their participation for Genesis liquidity has been a major step. So to talk more about this, I have a special guest, a special member of the team who is really good at explaining things. I'm going to hand it over to him, and he's going to talk a little bit about onboarding and the Genesis liquidity program.
I mean, he's so handsome.
The much-awaited DBD token and mainnet launch is incoming. And here's how you, a hotspot owner, can make sure you receive those sweet mainnet rewards from day one, and how you can accelerate your Genesis rewards. First off, make sure to onboard your Dabba Lite managed hotspot at onboarding.dabba.network. The process is easy and straightforward. It includes completing KYC with our partners at SumSub, choosing your LCO and location for deployment of your hotspot in India, and an overview of the Genesis rewards that you have earned for your early participation. By onboarding your hotspot ahead of token launch, you make sure to receive mainnet rewards from day one and get first pick on available locations. But it's first come, first serve, so make sure to onboard your hotspot at the earliest. Once onboarded, you get access to the Genesis liquidity program, which lets hotspot owners sell their Genesis rewards to the launch vault directly, reducing your unlock period. What is Genesis liquidity and how does it work? But first, let's start with what is a launch vault and how it works traditionally. A launch vault allows a project to sell their token ahead of exchange listings for a limited time and at a discounted price. They put in their own tokens and the market can buy directly from that vault. All the money raised goes back to the project. Now here's how Dabba's Genesis liquidity program is different. Up to 50% of the tokens in our vault come from the community itself. Hotspot owners contribute a share of their Genesis rewards into the vault. These are then sold to the open market alongside tokens added by the Dabba Foundation. This means hotspot owners become meaningful participants in the vault, and when the vault performs, they share in the benefits too. In short, traditional vaults only reward the project. Dabba's Genesis liquidity rewards both the project and the community that powers it. Remember, in order to participate in the Genesis liquidity program, you must be a hotspot owner and you need to onboard your hotspots. So make sure to onboard your hotspots, and if you don't own one yet, you can pick up your own hotspot today at dabba.com and get 20,000 early Genesis rewards as well. If you have any questions, catch us in our community Discord where you can interact with other community members and other hotspot owners like yourself. Thanks for watching. Oh, the guy's so charismatic. He's so good at what he does. The much-awaited DBD token.
His
Yes,
mom
so
also
that
says
was
he's the favorite.
so that was a quick look at the onboarding process. What we've been up to, what we've been working on, and what you can look forward to as we kick off very soon. We have a dedicated landing page to the onboarding process, which is onboarding.dabba.network. You can check it out now. It is live. You will not be able to log in just yet. Login will open from Monday, and I will, show a schedule of onboarding after this. But yes, you can visit the site and you can check out onboarding. Remember, onboarding will include KYC, location selection, your LCO selection, and your interest in the Genesis Liquidity Program. The Genesis Liquidity Program is something we've been very excited about. It gives a lot of meaningful impact to not just the project, but also the participants of the project as well, which is you, the hotspot owners. So, very, very exciting days ahead. Before we get to the schedule, we want to give a quick shout out to the test crew, everyone who has been testing, helping us test the onboarding process over the last couple of weeks. You guys have been very crucial in the entire testing process. For those of you who are not part of the test crew, we've been having calls with a select group of people. I think it was around 30 people, around 30 to 40 test crew members, right? And you guys have done a spectacular job with the feedback, with making sure everything is up and running. And yes, so thank you all for helping with this process. We could not have done it without you. Um, Moving on to the next thing. So the kickoff schedule for onboarding. So onboarding will kick off on Monday, the 8th from 9 a.m. UTC, and it'll open for season one participants first. So season one participants will first have access to the onboarding process. They can onboard their hotspots and they can register their interest for the Genesis Liquidity Program. Now, following that, 48 to 72 hours later, it'll open up for season two. And that's when season two participants can also onboard their hotspots. And shortly after we start season two, we'll be opening up for all other campaigns. So for Bonk, WeatherXM, Animoca, community campaigns, etc., you'll be able to onboard your hotspots then as well. So yes, exciting times to come. We have sent out a bunch of information. So if you are a hotspot owner, please make sure you are receiving mails from us. We have created a wonderful step-by-step guide from the different seasons point of view, how you can participate in the different seasons, and how you can onboard for the different seasons, etc. So Rumor has also posted it in the announcement channel over here. Rumor, maybe you can just drop a link to the announcements over here of how people can go through the onboarding process and check that out. So make sure you're up to date. If you're not receiving emails from us, just raise a ticket on Discord. We will sort that out for you. Yes, getting ready for that, and it's going to be super, super exciting. A recap of the Genesis Liquidity Program. So, just to give you guys an idea of Genesis Liquidity and just to recap what it's about. So, again, this is super exciting. This is very novel, and we haven't seen other projects do something like this before. And the idea is very simple. We believe that the community is very important for building out this network. And you guys have been a crucial part of this entire journey so far. It only makes sense that you're also a part of the initial launch that we are running. Now, what that means is, like I mentioned in the video, a traditional vault, only the project will be putting the tokens into the vault, and then the market traders, etc., would purchase from that vault. Whereas in the Genesis Liquidity Vault, you can put in a portion of your Genesis rewards. So up to 50% of the vault will be allocated for hotspot owners for Genesis Liquidity. And you, as a hotspot owner, can contribute up to 1x of your hotspot amount to the vault. per hotspot that you own. Now, this is super exciting because that means it's not just the project that is benefiting from the vault, it is a project and the community, which is very, very important. And we think everyone will really benefit from this. Now, another important thing to note that in the case of GLP oversubscribing, early onboarders will receive priority allocation. An example of this would be something on the lines of a bonding curve. Now, we will have more details on this over the coming weeks as we see the interest through onboarding. We will start sharing those details and start getting into those details with the community. So make sure to get your onboarding done as soon as possible to make sure you get all of these benefits. And this is just the start. We have so many more things that we're going to be announcing over the next couple of weeks in terms of the vault, in terms of community participation, in terms of deployments. The Dabba HQ has just been buzzing with activity, and we're so excited with the coming weeks to come. So make sure you start your onboarding. If you're having any difficulties with your onboarding, if you have any questions with your onboarding, please reach out to us on Discord. You can email us. We will make sure to help you out. So there is a ticket system on Discord where you can reach out to us with your questions. You can also use the different channels on Discord. If you come across any problems, please let us know and we will help you through the process. All right, now, enough talk. Let us get into showing you what this onboarding process will look like. So I will just stop sharing my screen. And Karam, you're going to share and walk through the onboarding, correct?
Yes.
All right.
So, okay. Here we go. So the URL will be onboarding.dabba.network. We've been doing alpha testing for the last couple of weeks, along with some other things as well. We've been making changes and things like that suggested by the test crew, who we deeply appreciate, over the last couple of days. So I'm going to give you a little walkthrough, but forgive me if something may go slightly wrong, because we're just still pushing code, obviously, till Monday, till onboarding actually starts. So the nice thing about the homepage is it gives you a quick overview. It's got the video that we showed earlier if you need to take a look at it again, and it explains the entire process as well. And of course, a link to Discord if you need help. So the way to begin is by entering your email address that you used to purchase your hotspots, and it'll send you a OTP the same way that if you ever log into the Explorer or anything like that at the moment, that's what we use. So I'm just loading up my mail to get my OTP, and that should be it. So we present the option of linking your wallet now. This is the wallet that you will use primarily to manage your hotspots. We will have support for multiple wallets coming soon, but for now, this is an optional step, and you can choose to skip it if you want. So in the interest of time, I'm going to skip through the linking my wallet, but the process is simple, right? Select your wallet, it'll pop up a list of Phantom anything else. You just sign a message and you're good to go. Okay, so this is where the fun begins. So this is the first screen that you presented with in the process. At the top, you will notice that there's a session timer that is set up. This is because think of this like a lot of people are looking to pick the early hotspots, even within a given season, the high-performing hotspots together as soon as possible. It's kind of like a lot of people trying to book plane tickets, right? So in order to make sure that as many hotspots are accessible to as many people as possible, given that there might be conflicts in selection, and we've got a locking mechanism that ensures that happens. We also have a session timer that ensures that if anyone sort of opens the tab and leaves the window and has selected the top hotspots, they can't just sort of block it for themselves and come back to it later and that sort of thing. So you're given a generous 20 minutes to finish the onboarding, but during testing, we've seen it takes like less than 3 minutes for a lot of people. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so the first process is, of course, completing your KYC. Then you would select your hotspots, choose your LCO, pay any onboarding fees, if any, and then show your interest in the Genesis liquidity program. if you so are interested. Now, we use a third-party provider, SumSub, for verification because they've got a really good process. And I'm just going to agree to SumSub terms and conditions to kick it off. The verification process for KYC is 3 steps. The first is you've got to verify your email again independently, because previously when you entered your email address, it was just a login. You've got to provide an identity document of some sort, and I can show you examples of that. Depending on the country that you choose, you'll be given a bunch of options for which identity document you want to use. And using your camera on your computer or on your phone, you need to perform a liveness check to ensure that you're not a bot. I'm going to start verification. I'm going to enter the same email address that I did for what I used to log in and what I used to purchase my hotspots. I'm just loading up my email to make sure that I've got the thing, and here we go. 384968. Okay, so you can see that now that I've verified that email, now it's time for my identity document. You can choose the country that you're coming from, and it'll present you, different options for what kind of identity documents are necessary. Since I'm doing India for this test, I'm just going to choose India. So right now, since I'm going to pick driver's license, since we're still running on test and this is for a demo, I can upload any document and it'll approve it. But obviously, please upload the appropriate documents. So now I'm going to hit continue. And in the background, it's going to verify those documents. This is a liveness check that we use a camera for. I think I got to move up and down so that it gets a good picture of me. And I imagine there's some sort of AI in the background that's looking at things. And you can see that we've got a step where it's verifying your data. Since this was a test, this should have just automatically done it. I'm going to pause here for a second because I think the devs pushed an update while we were on this. So just give me a sec. John or Shubs, do you want to talk for a minute about something or the other while I just check the update? Oh, there we go. Okay,
Yeah, for
here we
sure.
go.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Oh, okay.
No, but beyond your shit posting, I'm happy to hear thoughts. Okay, so you saw it takes a couple of seconds, even in production. Maybe you gotta wait 20 seconds there. Usually it's instantaneous. But yay, KYC has been completed. That was the KYC process, right? I did my email, I showed my face, I uploaded a document. If you have any issues, please contact us on Discord or this email, and we can help you through any issues that occur. We have tested this now with damn near 50 people, and it is extremely smooth. So once you've done your KYC, and you can see even with all that talking, it only took like 5 minutes to get this far. Now it's time to onboard your hotspots. And the process is how many hotspots do you want to onboard? You can select your LCO and locations. And if you were in season 2 with a campaign where you had to pay onboarding fees, you'll have to pay those onboarding fees. So now this gives you an overview of how many total hotspots that you have, and it allows you to select how many hotspots you want to onboard. So you can see in this setup, I bought 3 hotspots in the Weather XM campaign, 4 hotspots in Bonk, 4 for season 1 and 3 for season 2. Now, in the campaigns and in season 1, the hotspot price included the onboarding fee. So I'm not required to pay any onboarding fee for these, right? So these hotspots will be onboarded just as default as you continue. For season 2, this was a feature that a lot of people requested, where they could select as few and as many hotspots as they had purchased in order to onboard. One note is, let's say that I have a total of 3 season 2 hotspots and I only want to onboard 1. We're just going to show you a reminder saying, hey, you're doing partial onboarding. Just so you know, you don't get Genesis rewards till you finish your onboarding, and they will not be eligible for mainnet rewards post TGE either till you onboard. Since I am a good member of the community, I'm going to choose, I'm kidding, of course, please do it at your comfort level, but I'm going to onboard all of my hotspots. So I'm
But
going to say yes.
just
Go ahead.
I think a good point to highlight over here, Karan, would be that it'll be sequential onboarding. Only season one is opening up, not so these options for season two and campaigns won't not show up when you log in on Monday when it opens up.
Yeah, it would only show you the seasons that you are part of, and it's sort of think about it in descending order. So let's say, like me, you have participated in every single season. When you log in on Monday, you will only see season one. When you log in about 72 hours later, when we open season two, you'll be able to see season two and season one, and so on and so forth. So when we open up the remainder of the campaigns, you'll be able to see everything.
Yeah,
So
so
just think about
folks
that.
who have, let's say somebody who was purchased on season two only and they try and log in on Monday, what would they see? Will they be able
So
to
if
log
you
in?
bought only, you wouldn't be able to log in. It'll say, please come back when season two is open. If you're a
Yeah.
season one and a season two owner, you'll have to log in twice. You'll have to log in once on Monday, and you'll have to log in again after we open up season two to onboard your season two hotspots.
Does that mean I have to do my KYC again, or I have to just do KYC when I'm doing it for the season one?
No, you only have to do KYC once. And even let's say that you do your KYC, but you only partially onboard some hotspots. If you choose to come back again and onboard more, it'll just be the quick process of onboarding. You KYC is a one-time activity. You never have to do it again. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so now that we said we wanted to onboard all 14 of my hotspots, what we've gone ahead and done is on a first come, first serve basis, we've selected the best performing hotspots for you by default. So if you bought in season one, we had presented season one owners the ability to select hotspots when the network was much tinier. And so all of those were taken. So these are pre-selected for me. And we'll give you the functionality to relocate those at a later point. But season one hotspots, if you've already chosen your location and LCO, that's locked to you. Now, for season two, you can see that the UI has gone ahead and selected already the top best performing hotspots for me. It shows me the name of the hotspots, it shows me average data consumed per week, which LCO is running this hotspot, and where it's located. Of course, I can click and go to the Explorer and see that individual hotspot. And of course, I can scroll through the pages and see other hotspots as well. Now, one of the fun things that you'll notice, and this is part of the reason why there was a timer and we had to do a little bit of testing, is when multiple people are logged in at the same time. Let's say that, cool, I want the top performing, I don't necessarily want the top performing hotspots. What I actually want is to actually give all of my hotspots to Swami Wi-Fi because I want to support the smaller provider, right? So if I deselect this hotspot, it immediately goes from the list and it's available for other people to choose. So you can see, I think Rumor would have logged in or one of the devs in the background and is selecting their hotspots. So if someone else is currently live on the side and is choosing a hotspot, if they've selected it, you can see it, but you won't be able to select it. So that's one of the things that we think is a lot of fun. So by default, best performing hotspots selected as defined by average data consumed per week. Just ignore these specific numbers. This is still on the test server. You'll see different numbers when it goes live. By default, again, we select the best performing hotspots, but you can always choose to customize different hotspots, locations, and LCOs that you want. So once you're happy with your selection, you say, I agree to the lease terms and conditions. You can, of course, go through them because effectively what you are doing is leasing your hotspot to that LCO for a period of 7 years to get those reports. So you want to bring up anything here, Shubs or Don, or should I continue on to the next? Because this is the sort of major step where you're choosing these two important things.
Yeah, just over here you can also like if I want to like if I want to see details about these hotspots, how can I do that?
Yeah, you can just click on them. Unfortunately, I chose share tab and not screen. But in a new tab, it's opened up the Dabba Explorer with that hotspot detail page.
Awesome. So yeah, so basically you can just click on the details over here. You can see that they're underlined. and you can open up the details of the hotspot or even that LCO and get their details from here itself.
Yep.
Yep.
Shubes, anything to point out here, or should I continue? Awesome. Okay. So yay. So this is the process of choosing operator and location. And now I'm gonna hit continue. So you remember that I owned a total of 14 hotspots. I had bought 11 hotspots with onboarding fees paid because you can see they were part of WeatherXM, Bonk, and Season 1. I still need to pay for 3 hotspots because I bought them in Season 2. So I need to pay the onboarding fee, right? Which is what covers installation and a bunch of other things for the LCO and marketing and such. So as always, 2 options for payment, Stripe or Helio. I'm just going to choose Stripe for easier process because we're running the testnet. And I'm hoping that the devs haven't pushed this one to production because you can see I'm just punching in a test card number. So it's as simple as making the payment for whatever hotspots I needed to pay the onboarding for, which is actually just people that purchased in Season 2. Stripe is going to confirm my payment, and yay, we're good to go. So that was the entire process of KYC and onboarding my hotspots. The final step, now that you have done this and you truly are a hotspot owner, you now have the option, to participate in the Genesis Liquidity Program. So this will give you a breakdown. Again, apologies, this is test because we're demoing this before it goes live, but it'll show you what your total Genesis rewards were and give you a breakdown of all of your rewards. And it'll tell you how many Genesis rewards are eligible for the liquidity program. We've described in more detail here the liquidity program, and all you're doing in this page is just expressing interest in, yeah, you think it might be interesting to participate in the program, and you will only have to commit to participating it when we announce the vault details, which is the price of the vault, the size of the vault, things along those lines. Please use this form just as an indicator to give us an idea of what the level of interest for the Genesis liquidity program is, because this allows us to design the vault better. And because it's a novel mechanism, we're taking this as a slightly slower process. I am personally interested in this, so I'm going to just say interested, and it's going to let us know. And that pretty much completes the entire process. Once you have finished your process, your hotspots are onboarded and ready to go post TGE. We're also going to have a little thing that says, hey, please consider sharing this on X to say that you've completed the onboarding process. It helps spread the word and build buzz and all of those good things. But that, ladies and gents, in a nutshell, is the KYC and onboarding process.
Nice. Yes.
And we did it in under 15 minutes. Huh.
Yeah, with all the explanations as well. I was looking at the timer and I was like, we're gonna make it. But yeah, I mean, it's a very straightforward process. I think the test crew can attest to this. I think the average time we've seen people get through it was anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes is generally the average time for someone to complete the entire process. So very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Another thing, just to talk about Genesis liquidity again, another reminder that right now you're just registering your interest. So like Karam said, please make sure you register your interest. Details about token pricing and actually locking in your Genesis rewards will be about 1 to 2 weeks before the launch. And as always, there will be a lot of information that we'll share before that. Another very interesting thing to keep in mind is when you do participate in the Genesis liquidity program, you will also be you're technically reducing the amount of time that it takes for your rewards to unlock, because now you have rewards lesser to unlock in that case, which means they will unlock much faster. So a lot of great things by participating in the Genesis liquidity program and being a part of that. So yes, make sure to ask your questions, get involved, and let us know your thoughts. So yes, as we do with all these calls, we have our Q&A section. Now we're going to change up the Q&A section a little bit moving forward. Considering now the community has grown, I mean, we have around 90 people on this call when we usually used to have around like 15 to 20 at the most. We are going to stop having live questions, so please do ask your questions in the chat. If you do want to talk to us, we are still always available. You can raise a ticket on Discord, or you can book a call with us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. But just for the sake of time, we want to keep these town halls to about an hour. Start asking your questions in the chat box. Rumor and Atlas, let us know what are the hot questions. Let's start queuing them up. Guys, if you're watching this, if you've asked questions before that haven't been answered, start typing them in now. We'll make sure to start answering them. So, Rumor and Atlas, I'll leave it to you to point out the questions because I also see that you're answering a lot of these questions in chat.
There's a question on season 2. I know how we gave the option to have more rewards for the beginning of season 2 and the end of season 2. People are wondering if season 2 is going to be split up into multiple sections, or if once season 2 goes live, it goes live all at once.
For the onboarding, all at once.
Yeah, it's going to be season wise. Season 1 open serve, followed by season 2, and then campaigns. There's not going to be any differentiation among the seasons. Yeah.
I feel like Shubs, you need to change your nickname everywhere to Sleeper Degen or something.
Sleeper DJ. No, Shub should make a ghost account. I want to see ghost account Shubs and everyone's wondering who's this guy posting these wicked
I
memes.
agree.
Can people split their
PS350.
payments when onboarding, or does it have to be paid fully in fiat or in crypto?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Mr. Person? Yeah.
Do the people have the option to split their payments while checking out, or would they have to do 2 checkout processes if they want to onboard half with crypto and half with? Okay.
Yeah, one payment at one time only. We don't have an option to pay with 2 different currencies at the same time. No. So if they want to pay half of the devices onboarding fees through crypto, they have to have a separate transaction, and fiat has to have a separate transaction.
Which, on a very bullish note, are going to be very interesting because Stripe just launched its L1 blockchain today, right? And you note that everywhere we use Stripe and Helio, and their reasoning behind it is because a lot of their customers are using USDC for settlement in a lot of areas. So I think you'll see a unified Stripe interface fairly soon. And it's going to be very interesting. Or on the blockchains itself, you might end up in a situation where like a Solana or somebody else has the activity and trade means and trading and that sort of thing, but payments and settlements are happening on a different blockchain altogether, right? Because Stripe is just going to eat a crazy amount of activity on chain that way if everyone defaults to using them. So very interesting future.
Yes. Elandilus said Karam mentioned logging in twice when mentioning season 2 onboarding. Explain, please. So Elandilus, that basically means if you have multiple hotspots across seasons, like we said, we have a schedule, right? Monday, season 1 starts, 42 to 78 hours later, season 2, and then shortly after that, all other campaigns. So let's imagine you have a hotspot in season 1, a hotspot in season 2, and say another hotspot in the bonk campaign. So when season 1 opens, you can log in, you will see a season 1 hotspot, you will do your onboarding for that, your KYC and onboarding. Then you'll have to log in again when season 2 opens. You don't have to do your KYC again, but you'll onboard your hotspot. And then the same goes for all the other campaigns when they open up as well. Dingus says, can you explain a bit more about get up to 1x value of your hotspot before the token launch? Is that considered as 199 or 299? In what case would GLP reward less than 1x value of your hotspot? So yes, so Sorry, Shubs, were you going to say something?
No, I was taking up, unless you want to take it up.
Go for it.
No, I think it's a Shub's question.
So the whole program GLP is designed with the concept of what early returns as a participant, as a community member you can get. That's the thought behind the GLP. You know, instead of having a traditional vault where typically a foundation would build a treasury by liquidating its holding as part of the vault program, our concept is give as much as return possible to the early participants, that being capped at 1x. So it all depends now. The second step, all it now comes down to what sort of interest do we get during the next 2 to 3 weeks of the onboarding process, and what sort of participation we are seeing. So we want to be capping the total participation at 50%, depending upon how much interest that comes in. That would give us a number indication of what sort of the token price is going to be at the launch, what sort of returns are possible by liquidating the Genesis holdings for each hotspot again. So that clarity would come in probably closer to the TG once we get back to the community and present the numbers about the vault, about the liquidation program, and the whole mechanics behind if it's oversubscribed, what would be the pro rata. People who participated early on onto the onboarding process, they'll get certain more weightage to liquidate if they choose to liquidate their holdings, Genesis holdings. So that exact clarity would come in closer to the TG once we present those numbers. But for now, the idea is get 1x, return to the investors who have participated early in the program.
Yes. So just like Shub said, right now it's just registering your interest. So if this is something that interests you, make sure you do that. Over the coming weeks, we will have more town halls. We will have more discussions, getting into GLP, especially because it is a novel approach. It hasn't been done before. It is something that we are doing because we feel like it's a great way to give back to the community. It's the right way to give back to the community, but we don't want to be fast and loose with it, like Karam said before as well. We want to make sure we do our due diligence and do this right. So make sure you register your interest. Please keep that conversation open, and we will keep continuing this conversation as we approach TGE. Um, when discussing 48 to 72 hours season 2, when will we know exactly the daytime onboarding is open for season 2? We will have announcements. So I think most probably around Monday, we should be able to announce the exact date and time of season 2 opening for onboarding. The idea is, even though we've done a lot of testing, we want to stagger it a little bit just to make sure everything is running smoothly. So we will make sure that emails go out, announcements go out, and we will tell you exact date and time of season 2 onboarding opening and the other campaigns onboarding opening as well. Genesis liquidity program is getting returns back, but is the option to buy at discount different from the GLP? Please explain. I'm not sure what you mean by that. It'll be at the spot price of the vault. So it won't be at a separate price of everybody else. It'll be the same spot price of the vault.
I think
But now
just
that you
to add to
mentioned it, a
that,
discount, it's interesting. We should think. Sorry, Shub.
yeah, I was talking about that only, the discount part. If you want to buy more tokens, more DBT, you can very well participate from the other side, put in the USDT or C, whichever you would want to put in that crypto into the vault, and you can buy those tokens. Yeah, more than happy to talk more about that if that was the question.
Atlas, Rumor, are there any questions that we have missed in the chat so far?
I think that's the majority of them. There's another question, but it's about strategy, so it's not really relevant. We can just answer in the chat.
It feels like there's multiple issues and location. Where'd it go? Yeah, I mean, we could answer it while other questions come in. It feels like a good strategy to use multiple LCOs and locations. I don't have the LCO geographical expertise. What is a good plan to spread risk and maximize data consumption? Yeah, so Right now, one important thing to note is 90% of your rewards are UBI. That means they are shared across the network, and 10% are performance based. Now, this ratio will skew over the years as we give you more control and more insight into performance and historical data and all that good stuff. Right now, through the Explorer itself, you can see historically how these hotspots have performed, how many people have connected to it, how much data has been consumed, etc., etc. Now, the one important thing to keep in mind over here is where these hotspots are deployed and who are using these hotspots. So, the majority of these hotspots are deployed to people as their primary source of data, which means they do consume a lot of data. It's the difference of a need to have versus a nice to have, right? So, make sure to go through the Explorer, like Karam showed, even through the onboarding process itself. You can actually look at the individual hotspots, see how much data it's consuming, the different stats, etc.
I think folks should not worry too much about the hotspots because we keep adding onboarding new set of hotspots, so they'll always have options coming in to pick from. If the criteria that they're looking for is use higher usage means great hotspots, if that's the criteria for people to shortlist their selection, uh, that they will always have options as we keep adding batches of hotspots as we open up the new locations. So that's not going to be a concern. By default, the system, the way team has designed is by default, it pre-selects the highest available, hotspots. So it makes it easy for folks who do not understand the geography. So by default, when they're logging in, they get to choose the highest available hotspots on the consumption basis. So that is another reason as soon as your spot is open for selection, you should log in and onboard your devices so you get the best possible locations that are available from the pool. So yeah, it's been designed to make your life easy, but at the same time, so the only thing is early you log in and onboard, chances are that you get the best possible among the available locations.
Nice. Awesome. Yes, I think we're pretty much at the top of the hour. Now I can see that the chat is now going more into strategy, which is a great conversation to have, but let's shift that conversation into the Discord and with the broader community. We're going to wrap up the town hall for today. So just as a recap, we had some great partnerships that we talked about. We're going to have more partnerships, especially as we approach TGE. We want to make sure that there is as much community involvement and utilities that we can offer to the community as possible uh, as we approach TGE. Remember, we are going to be in Singapore for 2049 and Apex. So if you are there, make sure to say hi. We look forward to seeing you. And the most important thing, onboarding starts Monday. 9 a.m. UTC for season 1, 48 to 72 hours later for season 2, and then we will announce all other campaigns shortly after. Make sure you get your onboarding done as soon as possible. It gives you access to prime locations. It makes sure that you are receiving mainnet rewards from day one of launch, and it also gives you access to the Genesis liquidity program, which gives you early returns on your hotspots. Very, very important. If you guys have questions, if you guys have ideas, if you guys have thoughts, make sure to interact on the Discord. We have the various channels. You guys know Atlas and Rumor. These are the faces to the names that will be, talking to you on Discord as well. Plus, our great community managers. So feel free to ask your questions. You can book a call with us. You can raise a ticket, and we're there to help you out. Again, if you're not receiving emails or any updates from us, let us know. We'll make sure to fix that as well. Before we wrap up, Karam and Shubs, any closing words before we wrap up Town Hall number 16?
I'd just say let's start onboarding. Come on, last major step before TGE. Let's do this. We deeply appreciate everybody onboarding as many hotspots as they can or are comfortable with. Let's do this. This is the beginning of the show.
Yeah, just same to same whatever Karam said. Yeah.
Nice. Shubs will keep it to the chat. Anyway, thank you guys all so much for joining in. We have some amazing news in the coming weeks with more town halls. Make sure to keep apprised of our socials and keep up to date. Thank you all for joining in. Stay safe, stay happy, and we'll see you all in the next town hall. Bye bye.